chosen ones have to wait on God, it feels like the most. And the reason for that is because if you're a chosen one, then waiting on God is I feel like it's mandatory. I feel like it's mandatory. Um, Oftentimes we see people who just get places in life and it seemed like it didn't take long for them to get there. And typically, if you're a chosen one, and even if you're not a chosen one, like, just in general, like if you have a certain type of a purpose in life, it may seem like you gotta wait for stuff longer. And I don't know. I know waiting it seems like it seems like it seems kind of scary, like to have to wait. And this could apply to anything, it could apply to finances. Like a lot of chosen ones have to wait, for their finances to improve. A lot of chosen ones have to wait for, certain breakthroughs or certain relationship, or some chosen ones gotta wait till they able to move certain places or get certain jobs, or wait, for certain health, things with health. And it could apply to anything. But you'll notice some people in life get things like at the snap of the finger, and you'll be thinking like, how the hell do some people just get things so quick? But typically, if you chosen for a certain path in life, then it might take longer to get things. It really will. Like, especially if you are chosen and you're close to God, and if you're spiritual, if you really are like, you know, you know, tapped in like that, it seemed like you gotta wait longer for stuff. But people who aren't seem like they don't have to wait as long. I think that's a test. I think that, waiting, makes you stronger. This could apply to anything in life. This could apply whatever you could think of. Waiting can make you stronger, and it prepares you. It also to put you on the right path, the even the best path. I personally feel like waiting, who likes to wait for things, but it's just trusting God. And I feel like if a chosen one, see, yeah, a normal person who could just do whatever in life, it's up to them. It's their choices, whether or not, they choose to be successful or not. But because it's up to them, if they actually want to be rich, typically you notice people, they'll start seeing results on stuff fairly quick. They'll start, they could just do what they want and things kind of work out for them, and most people, you realize, don't even try. Most people, if they really try, yeah, they could be rich. I mean, most people just, working a job and just having everything laid out for you, just having a partner, just getting a partner easy. It's like it's all laid out for you, you know? You know, if you gotta work hard on something, like, yeah, average person could see success at it. But if you're a chosen one, or if you really like close to God, like, I feel like God will have a person like wait on things for their benefit, you know, and you know, if you really, you'll notice in a lot of spiritual people, like, they gotta, you know, like, if you really are like tapped in, you notice a lot of those people gotta wait for stuff. They gotta wait for stuff a bit longer. You know? Like, you'll notice that. You'll notice that. That's because an average person, if they get rich, they get something, they not gonna use it to benefit nobody really. They just gonna, you know, it's not like they're gonna have a purpose behind it. But like, if you're a chosen one or whatever, I guess it's like it's a thing where if you gotta wait, because it's like the potential could be so big or whatever, that some people, you know, they gotta wait, because if they were given like something too soon, or I feel like, you know, I feel like if they were given something too soon, they would actually use it to benefit others, you know. They would use it to advance society more, like. But an average person just gonna use it, spend it on some clothes or some cars or something. And I get it. I get it, you know. Um, but you know, a chosen one, a true chosen one, will actually use it to better. You know, like, they would use it to better their lives in you know, in the better society. That's what a chosen one would do. So that's why I feel like I gotta wait longer, because it's like a balance thing. Most people who get money, they're just gonna use it to buy stuff, and but a chosen one, I mean, they get their hands on some money, they gonna start learning more, they gonna start educating themselves, they gonna probably, you know, they'll maybe try to invent something, they'll try to, you know, benefit their family, or give it to a good cause. Like a chosen one, is that's what they'll do with it. But an average person just gonna use it to, you know, blow it on something like a car or something. But yeah, that's, you know, me personally, I feel like, you know, learning to wait is a good thing. That's important in all spiritual disciplines, especially for a chosen one. You would notice that you would have to wait for certain things. Other people might get things like that, but you know, if you truly chosen, you may have to wait a little bit for certain things. And you know, that's one thing like a chosen one gotta have, is patience. You will see here, even in the Bible, and I'm, you know, not being religious like in the Bible, like, a lot of people had to wait for stuff, and it's like they had to wait, you know. This could apply to anything. This could apply to, you know, being brought out of a difficult situation, or I don't know, waiting for, this could be waiting to get a job. Like, this could be waiting to to buy a car, waiting to, you know, this could be anything. Like, just waiting for certain things. Like, it can make you stronger. And yeah, it's like I'm learning now. It's like waiting is a spiritual discipline. Like, patience is the greatest. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. And patience. You know, doing your part, of course, but then waiting on God. Waiting on God. Because it seemed like the rules of this world is like, yeah, of course, a person who ain't, you know, spiritually tapped in or ain't chosen, of course they'll get things probably quicker. Things might happen quicker for them, but I mean, if you chosen, it might seem like, you know, you'd have to wait longer for stuff, or even certain things might happen, like, you know, let's say you doing something, and it just might, you know, things might take a bit longer than you would expect normally, you know. Yeah, but yeah, that's the case, you know. If you're chosen, you know, that's one thing to learn and to really cultivate. The main thing, if you're chosen, to really cultivate is patience and learning to wait. That's the greatest thing to have for, you know, a chosen one is patience. And yeah, but patience, really, it is a virtue. But anyway, that's the message, and whoever is meant to reach, it'll reach. Don't forget to like, and later.